This is just a little bit of recent history for the Belks at McAlister Square in Greenville, South Carolina, which was probably, I'm guessing, probably the first Belks in Greenville. I know McAlister Square was the first mall in Greenville. It got built during the Vietnam War. In fact, a guy who works here at the mall was telling me he was a kid, he got drafted and sent to Vietnam, and when he went off to begin his tour, this mall wasn't here, and when he came back it was. So he said that was one of the first things that he wanted to do when he got back into town, was to see the new mall. So this teardown has been 4 years in the works. They originally had to start by abating a large amount of asbestos that was in the building. That took quite a while. They let the fire department practice in this empty building for a while. They were filling it up with smoke and having drills and whatnot in there. And then after all of that, many of the utilities for the rest of the mall that's still in operation were routed through this space. The chillers for the air conditioning, the chilled water lines all got routed through this space. Some of the electricity, some other kind of plumbing came through this space. So that all had to be rerouted before they could begin the tear down. And what actually happened was the property owners failed to do the maintenance on the roof. And so for many years they ignored the maintenance on the roof of the building. And I mean, you can see daylight. I don't know if you can on this video, but you can see daylight through several spaces on the roof. When it ultimately came down to it, it was going to cost more to bring the roof back up to spec than it was going to be to tear down the entire property. Now, that was the cost when they made the initial decision, and the initial teardown was only supposed to take a year. Here we are in year 4, so whether or not the cost has remained lower than the original estimate is anybody's guess. Something tells me maybe they wish they would have fixed the roof at this point. So anyway, so they got all the asbestos remediated. They took all the glass and fixtures and everything out of the building. They rerouted all the utilities, chilled water lines, power, etc. And now what they've done is knock this whole area straight down here and cut all the steel that's attached to the building. And now, so they did this section very carefully, and now they can get in here with you can see it over there, they're just using a big scooper, and I can't see really well, but I assume a wrecking ball, and they're just knocking it down now that it's no longer attached to this building or attached to any of the utilities. They can just do it the messy way from here on out to the end. And supposedly, this is well within the realm of possibility as long as the money's there for it, supposedly they're going to put a green space or some kind of park in this area, and my hope is only that the park is completed by the summer. So I think that would be really nice.